I'm standing in the Dalton family living room on Christmas morning, holding two matching flannel shirts. One I'm wearing. The other is a spare. Karina Dalton insisted I buy last week. She said it would help me blend in with the family. I thought she was being kind. I was wrong. The Christmas tree glows behind us. Everyone's gathered for the perfect family photo. My wife adjusts her sweater. Her brother Luca fixes his collar. Their father positions himself in the center. Karina holds her phone up, checking the frame. Then she steps between me and my wife. Her hand presses against my chest. "Not you, Rowan. This is for blood family only. You can take the picture." The words hit like a punch. My wife's eyes dart away. She doesn't speak. She doesn't move toward me. She just stands there, frozen. Before I can react, Luca slides into my spot. He grabs my wife by the waist and pulls her into the center. His hand rests on her hip like he's claiming territory. Their father chuckles. "Don't look so stiff, sweetheart. This is our real family photo." They laugh. They pose. They adjust each other's collars. No one looks at me. I press the shutter while swallowing humiliation. Karina walks past me, phone already out. She says loudly, "Finally, a photo without extras." My wife's face drops, just for a second. Then she looks away. I see it. The guilt, the embarrassment. But she doesn't defend me. She doesn't say anything. I pull her aside into the hallway. My voice is low. "Did you hear what your mother just said?" She hisses back at me. "They didn't mean it. Don't create a scene." Her tone is cold, almost warning. Like I'm the one causing problems. Like I'm the one who should apologize. I stare at her. "This is your family," I say quietly. "They just excluded me from a photo and called me an ex." She crosses her arms. "You're being dramatic. It's just a picture." From the living room, the Daltons laugh louder. Someone makes a joke. I hear my name, then more laughter. My wife glances back toward them. Her expression softens. "Not for me. For them." "Stop making this bigger than it is," she says. "You're ruining Christmas." I feel something crack inside me. But I don't respond. I just walk back into the living room. Karina sees me and smiles. Then she says loudly enough for everyone to hear, "He's sensitive because of his upbringing." Everyone goes quiet. Then they laugh again. That phrase cuts deeper than she knows. Sensitive because of his upbringing. She's talking about my childhood. About the foster homes, about the years I spent being told I didn't belong anywhere. My wife told her. I never shared that with the Daltons. I only told my wife. And she used it against me. I stand there, staring at the two flannel shirts in my hands. Karina told me to buy a matching one. She said it was for the photo. But she knew. She knew I'd never be in it. That was the moment. That was the exact second I stopped paying for their lives. I look around the room, at the repaired roof I paid for, at the furniture Karina bought with money I gave her, at Luca's designer jacket, at the trip to Colorado they're planning, already paid for by me. I see it all clearly now. I've been funding their perfect image, their perfect life, and they've been laughing at me the entire time. I don't say anything. I just smile, a small, quiet smile. Because I know something they don't. I know exactly how much they need me. And I know what happens when I stop. My name's Rowan Pierce. I'm 34 years old. I work as a senior project manager at a mid-sized logistics tech company. And yes, the guy they didn't want in their Christmas photo. Before I dive in, let me know you're here. Drop a listening in the comments, or tell me where you're watching from. It still blows my mind how far one story can travel. And hey, if you enjoy stories like this, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now let me rewind. I met my wife 5 years ago. We dated for 2 years before getting married. From the start, her family treated me like an outsider. Polite but distant, like I was temporary. I grew up in foster care. I never knew my real parents. I bounced between homes until I aged out at 18. I worked my way through college. I built my career from nothing. I thought that would impress them. It didn't. Once I overheard Karina talking to a neighbor. At least she didn't marry someone with a real past. Then she laughed. My wife laughed too. I never forgot that. But I stayed quiet. I thought if I proved myself, they'd accept me. So I started helping. Paying for things, fixing problems, being useful. I thought that's what family did. Over 4 years, I became the Daltons' quiet provider. Every time they had a problem, I solved it. With money. With time, with silence. Luca's car broke down. I co-signed the loan. Then I made most of the payments when he couldn't. He told everyone he bought it himself. Karina needed emergency dental surgery. Insurance didn't cover it. I paid $4,000. She thanked Luca publicly. Their roof started leaking. The repair cost $8,000. I covered it. They told the neighbors Luca handled it. They planned a family trip to the mountains. I paid for the cabin, for the flights, for everything. My wife said, "Don't tell them you paid. They prefer thinking Luca does it." I didn't understand, but I agreed. I thought I was protecting her, protecting us. Then there were the mortgage shortfalls. 3 times, Karina called my wife in a panic. "We're going to lose the house." Each time, I transferred money. Each time they credited Luca. I kept every receipt, every bank transfer, every email, not because I planned anything, just because I'm organized. But now, looking back, I see the pattern. Every request came through my wife. Every payment was urgent. Every thank you went to someone else. One night, I sat down and reviewed everything. Old emails, text messages, bank statements. I wanted to understand how much I'd actually spent. The pattern was clear. The same urgent language, the same guilt tactics, the same outcome. I give money, they take credit. I stay invisible. My wife was always the messenger. Karina would call her. She'd come to me. She'd say, "They really need this. It's important. You want to help, right?" And I always did, because I wanted to be part of something, a family, a real family. I found a text from 6 months ago. Karina to my wife, "Can Rowan cover the mortgage? Just this once, tell him it's for us." My wife's response, "He will, he always does." Another text from Luca. "Is he going to be weird about the car payment again?" My wife? "No, I'll handle him." I realized something. I wasn't helping them. I was being used. Then my phone buzzed. A text from Karina. "We need money again. Since you want to be equal, prove it." I stared at the screen. Equal, like I hadn't already given them everything, like I was the one asking for something. A few days later, I saw my wife's phone on the counter. A notification popped up. A group chat. Dalton Bloodline with a red heart emoji. I picked up the phone. I knew the password. She never hid it from me. I opened the chat. I scrolled through the messages. My stomach tightened with every line. Someone wrote, "He should be grateful we even let him around the holidays." Another message, "He's useful, but that's it." Luca, "He thinks he's family. It's kind of sad." Karina, "As long as he pays, who cares?" Then my wife, "He won't cause problems. He's too afraid of losing me." I stood there staring at the screen. Every word burned. I kept scrolling. Months of messages, jokes, mocking, plans to ask me for more money, strategies to keep me compliant. I wasn't in the chat, but they talked about me constantly, like I was a resource, not a person. I put the phone down. My hands shook, not from anger, from clarity. I finally understood. This wasn't a family. This was a transaction, and I was the one paying. I didn't confront my wife. Not yet. I just saved screenshots. Then I went to bed. The next morning, I overheard Karina showing the Christmas photo to a neighbor. They were standing in the driveway. I was taking out the trash. Karina laughed. "Look," she said, "no strays this year." The neighbor looked confused. "Strays?" Karina nodded toward the house. "Rowan, he wanted to be in the family photo. Can you imagine? My wife was standing right there." She snorted, just a little laugh. But I heard it. The neighbor's face changed. She looked uncomfortable. Then she saw me standing there, trash bag in hand, 10 feet away. Her expression dropped. She looked at Karina, then at my wife, then back at me. She didn't say anything. She just walked away quickly. Karina turned and saw me. Her smile didn't fade. She just walked back inside. My wife followed her. She didn't look at me. I stood there in the cold, holding a trash bag, realizing I'd just been called a stray. In my own driveway, by my own in-laws, with my own wife laughing. That night, the neighbor knocked on my door. She looked nervous. "Can I talk to you?" she asked quietly. The neighbor, Mrs. Chen, stood on my porch. She kept her voice low. "I don't usually get involved," she said, "but you should know something." I nodded. "Go ahead." She hesitated. "You're the one who paid for their roof, right?" I didn't answer, but my face must have given it away. She continued. "They told everyone Luca did it. They said he's successful, that he takes care of his family. They've been saying that for years." I felt my jaw tighten. What else did they say? Mrs. Chen looked uncomfortable. "They said you begged to be accepted, that you're desperate because you don't have your own family, that you'd do anything to belong." The words hit me like ice water. I stood there, frozen. She added quietly, "I'm sorry. I thought you should know. They've been telling that story to everyone. I thanked her. She left. I closed the door and leaned against it. They didn't just use me. They humiliated me. Publicly. Repeatedly. While I paid their bills, while I fixed their problems, while I tried to be family, I walked to my office. I opened my filing cabinet. I pulled out every receipt, every bank record, every email, years of evidence, thousands of dollars, all documented. I printed everything, every transaction, every payment, every transfer. I organized it by date, by category, by amount. 4 years of financial support, $53,000. That's what I'd given them, not loaned, given, because my wife said they needed it, because I wanted to help. I stared at the stack of papers. Each one represented a moment I thought I was building trust, building family. I was wrong. Then I found something that made my blood run cold. A credit card transaction I didn't recognize, $4,800. Cash advance. Date, 6 months ago. Description: family emergency. I never authorized that. I pulled up my credit card account online. The advance was real. The signature wasn't mine, but it came from my account. I called the credit card company. They confirmed. The advance was processed using my card. The request came from a joint account holder, my wife. She had access to my accounts. I'd given her that access when we got married. For emergencies, she said. For trust. She took almost $5,000 without telling me, without asking me, and she gave it to her family. I confronted her that night. She didn't deny it. She just shrugged. I did it because you would have said no. They needed it. I stood in our bedroom, staring at my wife. You took $5,000 from my account without asking me. She rolled her eyes. It was a family emergency. What emergency? I asked. She waved her hand. It doesn't matter. The point is, they needed it, and you would have made it a big deal. I felt something inside me shift. This isn't about the money. This is about you taking it without telling me. She crossed her arms. Stop acting like they owe you anything. You gave it because you wanted to. Because you wanted them to like you. Her words were sharp, calculated. She knew exactly what to say to hurt me. I asked quietly, "Do you even respect me?" She didn't answer right away. Then she said, "You're overly emotional because of your past. My family tries to tolerate you. They really do. But you make it hard." I felt my childhood trauma being used against me. Again, the foster care, the abandonment, the fear of never belonging. She knew all of it, and she weaponized it. She continued coldly, "If helping them hurts your pride, don't do it. I'll handle them myself." That was the moment I knew. This wasn't a marriage. This was a setup, and I was the mark. The next morning, I went to the bank. I removed my wife from access to my accounts, all of them. Checking, savings, credit cards, everything. When she found out, she exploded. "You can't do that." "I can," I said calmly, and I did. Her face went red. "That money supports my family." I looked at her. "Exactly." She stared at me, realizing what I meant. Then she screamed, "You're trying to control me. You're trying to isolate me." I didn't respond. I just walked out of the room. She followed me. "They'll think you abandoned us. They'll think you're cruel." I turned around. "Let them think whatever they want. I'm done." She grabbed my arm. "You can't do this. They need that money." I pulled my arm away. "Then they should have treated me like family." She stood there, breathing hard, her face twisted with anger. Then she said something I'll never forget. "If you want to stay married, you'll fix this." I looked at her. "No. If you want to stay married, you'll start choosing me over them." She didn't say anything. She just grabbed her phone and left the room. I heard her calling her mother. 2 days later, the bills started bouncing. Luca's car payment declined. The home repair company payment failed. The Christmas trip to Colorado canceled due to non-payment. Even their subscription services, Netflix, Hulu, all stopped. Karina called my wife, screaming, "What's happening? Why isn't anything working?" My wife tried to explain. Rowan cut off the accounts. Karina yelled louder, "Tell him to handle it. Tell him to fix this." But I wasn't fixing anything. I wasn't answering their calls. I wasn't responding to texts. I was done. Luca left me a voicemail. His voice was cold. "If you want to stay married, fix this. My sister doesn't deserve this. You're making her look bad." I deleted the voicemail. Then I blocked his number. The next day, the group chat exploded. I know because my wife left her phone on the table. I saw the notifications, dozens of messages, all about me. I opened the chat. I read every word. "He's unstable. He wants control. He's not one of us." My wife responded, "I'm dealing with him." I stood in the doorway. She looked up and froze. She saw me holding her phone. She saw my face. We stared at each other for a long moment. Then I asked quietly, "Is that how you talk about me?" My wife stood up quickly. "You went through my phone?" I held it out to her. "You left it open. I saw the notifications." She grabbed it from my hand. "You had no right." I laughed. A bitter, tired laugh. "No right? You've been letting them mock me for years. You've been part of it." She didn't deny it. She just said, "You need to understand your place. My family is everything to me." I stared at her. "And what am I?" She didn't answer. I asked again, "What am I to you?" She looked away. "You're my husband, but not family," I said. She finally met my eyes. "They're my blood. You're not." There it was, the truth. After 3 years of marriage, after everything I'd given, after all the humiliation, she finally said it out loud. I nodded slowly. "Then you can stand with them, without me." Her face changed. "Wait, Rowan, don't." I walked past her. I grabbed my keys. I didn't pack anything. I just left. She called after me. "Rowan, don't be stupid." "Rowan." I got in my car and drove away. I didn't look back. For the first time in years, I felt light. I checked into a hotel that night. Nothing fancy, just a quiet room where I could think. I turned off my phone. I sat on the bed. I stared at the wall. And I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, just clarity. The next morning, I turned my phone back on. 73 messages, 42 missed calls, most from my wife, some from Karina, a few from Luca. I didn't read them. I just scrolled through, watching the desperation build. Then I saw a text from Karina. "You'll regret this. She won't survive without us." I smiled, because she was wrong. I wasn't the one who wouldn't survive. They were. Over the next few days, everything fell apart for them. The car was repossessed. Luca called my wife furious. The trip to Colorado was officially canceled. Karina cried on the phone about losing the deposit. The home repair company put a lien on their house. Their credit scores dropped. My wife called me over and over. Finally, I answered. "Fix this," she said immediately. "No." She started crying. "Rowan, please, they're falling apart. My mom is having a breakdown. Luca lost his car. This is your fault." I felt nothing. I just said I stopped paying. "That's all. The rest is on them." She screamed into the phone. "You're destroying my family." I hung up. A week later, the Daltons were supposed to host their annual winter fundraiser. It was a big event. They invited everyone. Neighbors, friends, church members. They used it to show off, to prove they were successful. Generous, perfect. But this year they couldn't afford it. The venue canceled. The catering company demanded payment up front. The decorations were never ordered. Everything collapsed. Karina tried to blame me publicly. She told people I sabotaged them. That I was vindictive, cruel, unstable. But people started asking questions. If Luca is so successful, why can't he cover this? If you're doing so well, why is your house in trouble? The story started to crack. Then a cousin, someone I'd never even met, posted screenshots from the Dalton bloodline chat. Screenshots of them mocking me, calling me a stray, laughing about how much money they'd gotten out of me. The screenshots spread. Friends saw them. Neighbors saw them. Church members saw them. Everyone saw the truth. My wife's phone exploded with messages. People calling her out. People defending me. People asking how she could treat her husband like that. She called me in a panic. "You have to make them take it down." "This is private," I said calmly. "Truth isn't private. It's just truth." The next day, my wife's coworkers saw the screenshots. Someone forwarded them to her office group chat. By lunch, everyone knew. She called me sobbing. "My reputation is destroyed. People think I'm a monster." I didn't respond. She continued. "You did this. You destroyed my life." I said quietly, I simply stepped out of it. She hung up. I blocked her number. That afternoon, Karina showed up at my hotel. The front desk called my room. I told them not to let her up. She stood in the lobby, screaming, demanding to see me. Security escorted her out. But she didn't leave. She stood outside, yelling at the building. "You owe us. You owe us." I watched from my window. She looked unhinged, desperate, broken. A police officer approached her. She yelled at him too. Eventually, she left. That night, I got a text from an unknown number. "Luca," he wrote, "you're a coward. You hid behind money. You were never man enough for this family." I didn't respond, but I smiled, because he was right about one thing. I did hide behind money. Their money, the money I gave them, and now that it was gone, so was their perfect image. My attorney called me the next morning. "You'll want to see this," he said. I met him at his office. He handed me a folder. The Daltons are trying to sue you. For what? I asked. He shrugged. Emotional distress, financial manipulation, breach of family duty, it's nonsense. But they filed. I read through the documents. They claimed I promised to support them, that I manipulated my wife into cutting them off, that I owed them ongoing financial assistance. My attorney leaned back in his chair. They have no case. You have every receipt, every record, every text. You documented everything. I nodded. When's the hearing? 2 weeks. I smiled. Good. At the hearing, the Daltons showed up dressed like they were going to a funeral. Karina cried on the stand. Luca tried to look sympathetic. My wife sat in the back, staring at the floor. Their attorney presented their case. The judge listened. Then he asked a simple question. Do you have any written agreement? Any contract? Any proof that Mr. Pierce owed you this money? They didn't, because it was all voluntary, all gifts, all given freely. The judge dismissed the case with prejudice. Then he said something I'll never forget. This court does not reward entitlement. You cannot sue someone for stopping their generosity. Karina burst into tears. Lucas stormed out. My wife just sat there frozen. After the hearing, my attorney asked, do you want to pursue damages? You have a case for emotional distress, for defamation. You could take them for a lot. I thought about it. I could destroy them financially, legally, publicly. I had every right. But I shook my head. No, let them live with themselves. My attorney smiled. You're a better man than most. I didn't feel better. I just felt free. Over the next few months, I moved forward. I found a small apartment near my office. Quiet, peaceful, no drama, no manipulation. Just me. I focused on work. I got a promotion. My boss told me I seemed different, more confident, more focused. I didn't tell him why. I just thanked him. I started therapy. I talked about my childhood, about foster care, about the fear of abandonment, about how the Daltons weaponized my trauma. My therapist helped me see it wasn't my fault. I wasn't too sensitive. I wasn't broken. I was just used. I started running every morning, clearing my head, building strength. I hadn't felt this good in years. Then one day I was scrolling through social media. I saw the Daltons' profiles. I almost kept scrolling, but something made me stop. Every post was gone. Every photo, every family picture. The Christmas photo, the vacation photos, everything, deleted. I clicked on Karina's profile, empty, just a profile picture. No posts, no history, nothing. I checked Luca's profile, same thing. Wiped clean. Then I checked my wife's profile. She deleted everything too. Every photo of us, every post about our wedding, every memory, gone. I sat there staring at my phone. They didn't just delete the photos, they deleted the evidence, the proof of their perfect life. Because everyone knew the truth now. Everyone knew it was built on my money, my silence, my humiliation. To keep those photos up would be admitting they were fake, that their whole image was a lie. So they erased it all. I felt a strange sense of satisfaction, not because I hurt them, but because the truth was stronger than their lies. I closed the app. I didn't need to see anymore. I didn't need closure from them. I already had it. That night I got a message from Mrs. Chen, the neighbor. She wrote, I just wanted to say I'm proud of you. You handled this with more grace than they deserved. I thanked her. Then I asked, how are they doing? She replied, not well. They're trying to sell the house. Karina barely leaves. Luca moved away. Your wife is living with her parents. They're not the same people anymore. I didn't feel sorry for them. I didn't feel victorious either. I just felt neutral. Like I'd finally put down a weight I'd been carrying for years. A few weeks later, I ran into my wife at a coffee shop. She saw me first. She looked away quickly. But I walked over. She looked up, surprised. Rowan, I nodded. How are you? She didn't answer right away. Then she said quietly, I'm sorry. I didn't expect that. I sat down across from her. For what? For everything. For letting them treat you like that. For treating you like that. I studied her face. She looked tired, older, like something inside her had broken. She continued, I didn't realize what they were doing, what I was doing. I just wanted them to be happy. I thought that's what family meant. I said gently, family doesn't mean sacrificing someone else. She nodded. Tears filled her eyes. I lost everything. My family won't talk to me. My friends don't trust me. My job is uncomfortable. I lost you. I didn't respond. I didn't know what to say. She wiped her eyes. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I understand now. What I did. What they did. It was wrong. I believed her. But it didn't change anything. I told my wife the truth. I'm glad you understand, but I can't go back. She nodded. I know. We sat in silence for a moment. Then she asked, Are you happy? I thought about it. Yeah, I am. She smiled sadly. Good. You deserve that. We said goodbye. I walked out of the coffee shop. I didn't look back. There was nothing left to look back at. Over the next year, I rebuilt my life completely. New apartment, new routines, new friends. I even started dating again. Nothing serious. Just learning to trust again. Learning to recognize red flags, learning to value myself. I heard through Mrs. Chen that the Daltons sold their house. They moved to a smaller place across town. Luca got a real job, finally. Karina stopped hosting events. My wife moved to another city. They all went their separate ways. Their perfect family image was gone. And without it, they had nothing holding them together. I didn't cause that. I just stopped holding it up. And once I stopped, it collapsed under its own weight. That's the thing about fake foundations. They can't support themselves. They need someone underneath, carrying the load, invisible and unappreciated. I was that person until I wasn't. One day I got a letter in the mail. No return address. I opened it carefully. It was from Luca. He wrote, I owe you an apology. I treated you like you were beneath us. I let my mother treat you that way. I took your money and your respect, and I gave you nothing back. I was wrong. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I see it now. You were the only real one in that family, and we destroyed you for it. I'm sorry. I read the letter twice. Then I folded it and put it away. I appreciated the apology, but I didn't need it. I'd already moved on. I never responded. Some apologies are for the person giving them, not the person receiving them. Luca needed to say it. I didn't need to hear it. A few months later, I got a promotion at work. Senior director. It came with a significant raise. My boss pulled me aside and said, You've changed, in a good way. You're more assertive, more confident. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I smiled. I'd stopped letting people walk over me. I'd stopped sacrificing myself for people who didn't value me. That's what changed, and it changed everything. I started volunteering at a local foster care organization, mentoring kids who aged out of the system. Kids like me, kids who didn't have family, who didn't have anyone. I told them my story, not for pity, but to show them that your past doesn't define you, that you can build your own family, your own life, your own worth. One kid asked me, Do you ever talk to your wife's family anymore? I shook my head. No. He asked, Do you miss them? I thought about it. Then I said honestly, no, I miss the idea of them, the family I thought they were, but the real them? No, I don't miss that. He nodded. That makes sense. Another kid asked, Do you think you'll ever get married again? I smiled. Maybe, if I find someone who sees me, really sees me, not what I can do for them, just me. The kids listened. Some of them understood. Some of them didn't. But I planted a seed that said you don't have to accept mistreatment to belong. You can walk away, you can choose yourself. That night, I went home to my quiet apartment. I made dinner, I watched a movie, I went to bed early, and I felt peace. A year later, I was scrolling through social media. I don't know why, just bored, curious. I typed in Karina's name. Her profile was still empty. I checked Luca's, same thing. Then I checked my wife's, or ex-wife, I should say. The divorce was finalized 6 months ago. Her profile had a few new posts, pictures of her in a new city. Alone, no family, no friends, just her. She looked different, quieter, smaller, like she'd finally realized what she lost. I didn't feel anything looking at those photos. No anger, no sadness, no satisfaction, just nothing. I closed the app, I put my phone down, I looked around my apartment, at the life I'd built, the life that was mine, not funded by obligation, not tied to people who didn't respect me, just mine. Some families don't break you, they just reveal what you should stop holding up. And once you stop, they collapse under their own weight. The Daltons taught me that. They showed me that I don't need to beg for belonging. I don't need to buy love. I don't need to sacrifice my dignity for acceptance. I am enough. Alone. Without them. Without anyone who makes me feel small. That Christmas photo they took without me? It's gone now. Deleted, erased like it never happened. But I'm still here, standing, breathing, free. And that's the only picture that matters.